You know that feeling, that sort of whisper? Maybe, just maybe, that vibrant spark, that deep connection you felt so easily. It's not quite as bright these days, especially, for many of us over 50, it feels like. Well, maybe it's just how things go, but hang on. What if that inner fire isn't actually gone, just kind of waiting for a nudge?
It's a really interesting idea, isn't it? That feeling of something being diminished, desire or closeness might not be a simple decline at all. The research we've been looking at, well, it actually points to something pretty remarkable happening in the brain itself, specifically related to a type of brainwave, gamma brainwaves.
Gamma waves. Okay, sounds like sci-fi. But this is where it gets, well, mind-blowing. We're diving into some really fascinating work today coming out of MIT's Brain Aging Initiative. They've been looking into how sound frequencies might affect brain activity as we age. And their findings, well, they could totally change how we think about reigniting that spark, for emotional closeness, connection, even desire, using just sound.
Exactly. That's our mission for this deep dive, to really unpack this MIT research and this application it inspired, to see what it really suggests about, potentially reawakening things with a totally non-invasive approach, just sound.
Okay, let's get right into it. This MIT discovery, what exactly did they find in the brain that's so important here?
Well, a crucial finding was identifying specific networks, neural networks in the brain that are fundamental, really fundamental to how we experience emotional closeness, our general energy levels, and yes, those feelings linked to desire. These aren't just vague ideas. They're tied directly to what's happening in these specific brain areas.
Right. And this is where gamma brainwaves fit in, isn't it? Can you tell us a bit more about what they do? I mean, we hear about alpha, beta. What makes gamma special?
Okay, so think of gamma waves as the brain firing on all cylinders, kind of peak performance. They're a natural rhythm, we all have them, and they get really active when we're intensely focused or deeply engaged emotionally, and crucially, when we're completely present, right
Yeah.
here, right now. High gamma activity is often seen as a sign of a really responsive, agile brain.
Got it. So gamma is that feeling of being sharp, switched on, totally in the moment. I get that. But how does that relate to aging? Specifically for women, say, over 50? Because that sense of things feeling dampened, that's a real thing for many.
Yeah, the research does show a tendency for gamma activity to, well, to modulate, sometimes decrease, in women over 50. And there are a few interconnected reasons why. Things like the buildup of chronic stress, which so many women deal with, that can dampen these higher frequencies. Also changes in sleep, the hormonal shifts typical of this life stage. Even feeling maybe a bit emotionally disconnected, that can all contribute to lowering the overall volume of gamma activity.
Wow. So that feeling of being less excited, maybe less tuned in sensually, a bit emotionally flatter,
Yeah.
that could actually be linked to this dip in gamma. That's
Yeah.
quite a thought.
Precisely. And this is where the MIT team's breakthrough really shines. They discovered that certain specific sound frequencies can actually help gently reactivate, encourage gamma brainwave activity.
Uh-huh.
And the really significant part, it was done purely through sound, auditory stimulation, no drugs, no invasive stuff, just sound.
Just sound. That almost sounds too simple. How does that even work? Is it like how certain music makes you feel certain things?
It's based on a principle called brainwave entrainment. It's actually pretty well established. Basically, your brain has this natural tendency.
Mm.
When it hears a consistent rhythmic stimulus, like a specific sound pattern, it tends to synchronize its own electrical rhythm to match that external one.
Okay, like tuning forks.
Yeah, sort of like that, yeah. So in this case, carefully designed sound patterns are used to gently nudge the brain's dominant frequency towards that gamma range. The range linked to energy, emotional connection, sensual awareness. While music definitely affects mood, this is more direct, targeting brainwave patterns with specific frequencies and rhythms.
I see. And this is the science behind the desire wave that's mentioned in the source material.
Exactly. The desire wave is presented as a practical application that came out of understanding how these sound frequencies can influence gamma waves. It uses brainwave entrainment, employing a specific mix of sound frequencies designed to gently activate those gamma patterns.
And it's supposed to be really quick, right? That definitely caught my eye.
Yes, that's a key point they highlight. It's intentionally designed as a short audio session, typically around 12 minutes. That brevity makes it, pretty easy to fit into a daily routine. Not a huge time commitment.
12 minute, yeah, most of us can find that. So what's involved? What do you actually do?
It's described as being incredibly simple. You just need a quiet spot, pop on some headphones, and listen. That's it. The engineered sound frequencies then work subtly, kind of under the radar of your conscious mind, to gently stimulate those brain areas linked to energy, emotional intimacy, sensual connection. And the best part, No effort required, no visualizing, no affirmations to remember, nothing to learn, just listening.
Wow. And the material suggests many women feel something shift even the first time they listen. That seems really fast.
The information does suggest that, yes,
Yeah.
that quite a few women report a noticeable shift, even after just one session. It might show up as, say, feeling more aware of your body or more emotionally open, or just feeling more present, more grounded in the moment.
Hmm. That idea of being truly present. It reminds me of something else in the research about experienced meditators. Zen monks, was it?
Ah, yes, that's a fascinating link. Studies on people with years of deep meditation practice, like Zen monks, found something really interesting. They showed exceptionally high levels of gamma brainwave activity during meditation. Yeah. Which strongly suggests a connection between sustained gamma activity and that deep state of presence, being fully embodied, fully aware. And that state, as the research suggests, seems really conducive to emotional intimacy and, well, desire.
So the desire wave is kind of trying to gently nudge our brains towards a similar state.
hmm
High presence, high gamma, but without needing years of meditation training.
That's the basic idea,
Yeah.
yes. The source material even calls gamma waves the desire wave within you.
Mm-hmm.
The concept is that by activating these inherent brain patterns, you might tap into more energy, more emotional openness, a stronger connection to your body, potentially renewing that sense of pleasure.
And what about the real world effects? What are women actually reporting in their daily lives from using this? It sounds like it's more than just one feeling.
Yeah, the anecdotes suggest a whole range of positive changes. Women talking about feeling more in tune with their bodies, their emotions, like a mental fog lifting.
Yeah.
Feeling more present in conversations, in interactions, experiencing stronger connections with partners. Also, things like renewed self-confidence and just moments of spontaneous joy, like the example given of suddenly wanting to sing while cooking.
Singing while cooking. I love that. It paints such a picture of just rediscovering lightness, maybe.
Exactly. Or feeling an inner glow, little things that signify a shift.
So what's the main takeaway then? Is the desire wave some kind of magic pill?
No, and it's important to stress that. It's not presented as medication or some quick fix. It's framed more as a tool, a gentle but potentially powerful way to help reconnect with a part of yourself, a part that might have become less active over time, using the power of sound to encourage that natural reconnection from within.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Not forcing it, but creating the right inner conditions for connection and desire to maybe bubble up again. So for anyone listening who's felt that sense of things fading, connection, desire,
Yeah.
what's the key message here?
I think the core message is really one of possibility. That this research and applications like the desire wave suggests something hopeful. That the capacity for desire, for deep connection, especially for women over 50, it isn't necessarily lost. It's intricately linked to brain activity, and that activity might be something we can positively influence. Gently, non-invasively, just using sound.
So wrapping up our deep dive, I'm left with this really interesting thought. For anyone feeling that inner spark isn't quite what it used to be. Maybe it's not gone out at all. Maybe it's just waiting for a different kind of signal, a gentle sound wave perhaps, to reawaken in a way we hadn't considered. It definitely gives you something new to think about.
It absolutely does. It really encourages us to look at the changes we experience as we age in a different light. And it shows the amazing potential of neuroscience to offer, well, fresh perspectives and maybe even new paths to enhancing our well-being.